Have you ever wanted to start day trading in Canada? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know in order to get started. Okay, so the three things that you're going to need in order to day trade as a Canadian are a computer, a software, and a strategy. So let's get right into it. When we're talking about your computer and your internet, the big thing here is start with what you have. You do not need to go out and spend $1,000 on a computer and a fancy monitor and a cool looking mouse. You do not need any of that to get started. You can start with a laptop. That is perfectly fine to get started. It will be good enough for what you can handle as a beginner, and then as you get better, you can upgrade. Now, obviously, a faster computer is better. You want a better computer so that you can get more live data and you can get in and out of your positions faster. But as a beginner, you are not going to be buying and selling rapidly in the beginning. You are going to be taking this slow. You're going to be easing your way in, and an entry-level computer, a basic computer that you can buy at Walmart, is good enough to get started. Now, it's not great. It's not going to take you for the next few years, but it's good enough to get started. After that, you may need some monitors and some additional screen space. I do not recommend going out and buying this right away, but as you get better and you start to realize that, hey, maybe that laptop isn't enough space for me to check my charts, well, then you can add on another monitor or a little bit more space to it. The big thing here, though, is when you're building your computer or when you're actually going to build a setup, you want to make sure you have a graphics card and a GPU that can actually process what you want. So my computer here, this is my setup. These are the specs from my computer right now. I just basically copy and pasted this. So this is what I am operating on. I built this myself. I actually went out and bought all the parts, put the computer together based off of what I wanted to do. I had a couple of different specifications. I wanted a good processor on it so I could build onto it. It had to have a motherboard with additional memory. So if I want to install more RAM, I can. It had to have 4 monitor slots, so I can actually plug 4 monitors into my computer. And it had to have a good operating system. So I'm on Windows. It's pretty much standard, but it is a 64-bit operating system. So it's a good computer. It's a good setup. It's nothing fancy or extraordinary. It's just a good setup that I was able to build myself with the specs that I wanted. So I'm going to walk you through real quick what the rest of my computer looks like, and then we'll go from there. Okay guys, so this is my setup here. I've got 2 large 32-inch monitors here. Now, they're basically the cheapest 32-inch monitors that I could find. They were about $200 at Best Buy. I also have a keyboard that I bought from Walmart, a mouse that I bought from Amazon, and I built the computer myself for about $1,000. So not an expensive setup at all, especially when I'm doing videos, I'm doing stocks, I'm doing so much on my computer. That monitor up top there I had laying around from before, from an old computer, and so I just tacked it on there, and I basically use it for managing the audio on my videos or watching some YouTube videos while the stocks are slow. So really simple setup. You do not need anything fancy here. I just have 2 screens because I use my computer so much, but you do not need this in order to get started in the stock market. Okay, so now that you've seen my setup, let's move on to number 2. This is the software and the platform that you're actually going to use to analyze your stocks and make your trades. Now, being in Canada, we have slightly less options than you would if you were in the United States, and we don't really have any good commission-free options. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to walk you through the different platforms. I'm going to tell you which one I use, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I pay to use it. So here we go. The brokers in Canada, the most popular ones that you'll find are Questrade, Thinkorswim, Interactive Brokers, and some people use Wealthsimple. Now, if you're a serious day trader and you're really trying to get into day trading, you probably won't use Wealthsimple, but if you just want to try it out and you want to tinker around with a couple trades, it's probably the easiest one to set up. Now, if you're serious about this and you really want to get into it, these are the 3 that most people are using, and I particularly use Questrade. So when you open an account and when you decide which broker you want to use, there's a couple things you need to know. That is, number 1, do not open a day trading account with a tax-free savings account. A tax-free savings account is designed to give you tax advantages on capital gains. When you become a day trader and you do this consistently, that income that you develop is no longer capital gains. It is considered income, and it needs to be taxed as income. It cannot be taxed as capital gains. So I don't want you to get a crazy weird tax bill at the end of the year and not know what happened. If you want more information on this, I made an in-depth video on it about 2 or 3 days ago. Definitely check that out. So if you can't open a tax-free savings account, well, what kind of account should you open? Here are my suggestions. Number 1 would be a margin account. If you can get a margin account, I would go for this because it gives you the most flexibility. If you can't get a margin account, go for a cash account. And if you can't do either one of those, get an FX account and start trading currencies. Now, make sure before you sign up for any of these, you understand if you are using any leverage. By leverage, what I mean is borrowing somebody else's money, such as your broker or the bank's money. These margin accounts will give you leverage, so make sure you understand how that works before you actually make any trades using leverage. So data. Now this is something that is really important and that I wasn't completely aware of when I first signed up for day trading. Data is an additional fee that you will have to pay in Canada in order to get better info. What I mean by better info is I mean live price information. You can sign up for Questrade, you can open an account for free and you can get their entire software for free, but it will give you delayed quotes, as in 15-minute delayed quotes where you won't actually be able to see what the price is right now unless you click on a button. What that means is you won't be able to see the chart in between there and you won't really be able to day trade off that information. Therefore, you will need to get data. Now, there are a couple different options per platform. A lot of the platforms have small data packages that will just give you live information for about $20, but it's a little bit limited. What you are going to want is some good information and some good data. Now, most of them call them premium packages or level 2 data. They range from about $80 to $100 Canadian or USD per month, and they only work for that specific country. So for me to get the level 2 data in the US cost me about $100, and to get it in Canada cost me about $100. Now, when I say level 2, what I mean by that is it is giving you a little bit more information in that stock quote. So if Apple is selling at $80, it will tell you what level people are willing to buy and how many they're willing to buy. So at $79, people are willing to buy 100 units. At $78, people are willing to buy 300 units. And as the price goes up, you can see it on the other side as well. So what it allows you to do is, as your stock hits an inflection point, you can see if there's a buildup of orders there, and it will help give you an indication of whether or not it's going to break through support. So level 2 data is important, and for me, it cost about $80 to $100 per month. Now, here we go. Here are my exact costs. So data for me costs $90 per month. I don't know why that V's there. That was a mistake. But data for me costs $90 per month. Now, for me to trade a stock costs $4.95 per trade. So if I buy one Apple share, I buy 10 Apple shares, costs me $4.95. Same thing to sell it. Options are a little bit different. Options cost me $4.95 plus 75 cents per contract. So to buy one contract of Apple stock for a, let's say, $100 call, it is going to cost me $5.70 to execute that, and then the same thing to get out of it. ETFs are a little bit cheaper. You can buy ETFs for free, but it'll cost you $5 to sell them. Now, here's the big kicker on the data is most of them have refundable limits on it, meaning if you spend X amount on commission, you'll get that $90 data cost back. So that's what happens for me most of the time. My data is fully refundable at $400 in commissions. Now, that sounds expensive, like holy cow, Zach, you're going to spend $400 on commissions. Well, when you think about it, it's not actually that much. If you have 20 trading days in a month, so five days a week, 4 weeks, so 20 trading days, all you have to do is make 4 trades per day, and then you get a full refund on that data. So for me, that's pretty easy. I pretty easy make 2 trades a day, 2 trades in out is what I mean by that, and therefore I get a full refund on my data and I just pay the commission. So not a bad deal for me, but this is just what I pay. Different platforms are a little bit different. I know Thinkorswim's a little bit different, and so is International Brokers. So you need to evaluate this. This is the one that I evaluated and thought was best for my situation. Okay, so now I just want to show you the software real quick of what it actually looks like when you get into one of these platforms. I'm just going to give you the 30-second walkthrough of how I set it up and what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got a lot of things going on and I got a lot of information. On the right hand side here, this is Shopify. So this is the stock chart for Shopify on a 1 minute time frame for today. So on the left hand side here, this is the beginning of the day and open, and then it's just closing up. We got another 53 minutes left in the day. So this is what the stock chart looks like right now. On the bottom here, this is how I would place an order. So if I wanted to buy 100 shares at market price, I'd just click buy and I'd be all set to go. Right here, this window in the middle, this is what level 2 is. So as you can see here, it's showing me what level people are willing to buy it at and sell it at. So $1,081.08. There's an order right now for 75. There's an order for 59. And as you can see, this is constantly moving. But on the left side is the buy side, on the right side is the sell side. And it basically shows you how many orders are backed up at each level. Therefore, if you hit X level, if you hit $81, this many orders are going to execute, and it can help you get an indication of whether the stock is going to go up or down. On the left hand side here, this is the time and sales. So every transaction that happens on this particular stock gets listed here with the size and the condition of whether it was higher or lower than the bid or the ask. And then on the bottom here, we have my watch list. So what's nice about this is I've connected everything so that when I click on Square, everything on my everything on my screen changes. So as I go through the different stocks, I can see the level 2, the time and sales, everything I need for all of the different stocks. So as we go through, I would set this up and I'd put it on both monitors here, and then I'd start watching the stocks that I'm most interested in, and then I'd execute the trades from there and set in some alerts. Okay, so now you've seen the trading platform and the software that I use, and you have a couple different options that you can evaluate. Now it's time to start talking about your strategy. So the big thing here is you need to find a strategy and a routine that works for you. There are so many different ways that you can trade the stocks. You can do it long term, you can do it short term, you can be a swing trader. And then when you get into day trading, you could be a scalper, you could be a bouncer, you could be a short seller, you can do whatever you want. There's so many different strategies. So you need to figure out which one works best with your personality, with your skill set, and with your level of self-control. The big thing here, and that I've learned the tough way, is more knowledge equals better decision making. You are better off spending 2 hours learning about a strategy or how to execute in the markets than you are spending 2 hours struggling in the market. So the more you learn, the better you are going to be when it actually comes down to executing your trade. Now, when it comes to finding that strategy and finding that knowledge and finding somebody to guide you along, you can either pay for it or you can find it for free. There's two different options, and I can tell you right now, both of them work. Just one of them's a little bit quicker. So when we are looking at paying for it, there's a lot of different places that you can find courses on how to do this. You can just hashtag stock trading, and I'm sure you'll get hit with an ad. There's also a bunch of people on YouTube that are also selling courses that do a pretty good job. Now, I personally follow all 5 of these traders. I have not paid for any of their courses, but they all make free content on YouTube where they give away probably 20% of their course completely for free, just to show people how good they are. Now, I have not taken any of these. I don't endorse any of their courses. I'm just telling you that all 5 of these people know what they're talking about. They're all very good traders. They all have profits. They all sell a course, and whether or not it's worth X amount of dollars, I'm not here to tell you that or decide that, but here are 5 different places you can look for stock trading courses. So Zip Trader U, really good guy, super intense, super straight to the point. If you like it hard and fast, this is the guy for you. Clay Trader, really good day trader, nice and entertaining, keeps it fresh, really good job. Umar Ashraf, this guy's out in New York. This guy has the most expensive course, but he also posted his earnings in April, and he had made $800,000 so far in the year. So really good guy, knows what he's talking about, great resources on YouTube, and he's built a really good community. Ricky Gutierrez, I think this is probably the biggest YouTube channel when it comes to day trading. He likes to trade the NASDAQ. He likes to trade the leveraged versions of the NASDAQ. He does a good job, but he has a very, very particular trading style that I think is different from everybody else on here, and they're all slightly different, to be totally honest with you. And then you have Warrior Trading. So this is Ross Cameron from Warrior Trading, the dude with the big ginger beard and hair. Really good guy, does a great job, awesome trader. Completely different strategy than Ricky though. He looks for gappers early in the morning, trades a little bit pre-market, trades a little bit in the mornings, and he's looking for big gaps and big swings. So all 5 of these are profitable traders that sell courses at different prices and trade differently. So what you need to do is maybe watch all of their YouTube videos and figure out which one you relate to the most and see if that works for you. Now, lastly, you can get free training. Free training is super easy to find. You can find almost anything you need on YouTube. If you type it in specific enough, you will find it. The problem is that takes so long, and you're not going to find the right information. You could find the wrong information, and it just takes a really long time to prove it out and build it for yourself. So if you're interested, I have put a couple of courses on Skillshare. One of them is Stock Market Fundamentals. I've put the link in the description below. You get 7 hours of trading content, and it is completely free. I'm not charging you at all. I do not need any money. I do not need anything from it. It is completely free. It is for anybody that has made it this far in my YouTube video. I sincerely appreciate it. This is for you. Now, my course has 392 students and 96% exceeded expectations. I'm just going to show you this real quick. Okay, so this is what the course looks like. This is the back end of Skillshare. I've got over 40 videos in there detailing exactly what you need in order to get started in the stock market. Super helpful. And if you go to reviews here, you can see it's 96% exceeded expectations. We've got 23 reviews. People are really digging the class, and I'm super happy with it. We've also got over 391 students and over 39,000 minutes watched. So super happy with this, and it's completely free. All you need to do is sign up for Skillshare. Now, when you sign up for Skillshare, they will ask you for a credit card, but you get 2 months completely free. So sign up for 2 months. If you don't like it, cancel before the 2 months. It won't cost you anything at all. And the benefit here is you get access to all of my courses, as much content as you could possibly want, but you also get access to everybody else's content. So as much information as you can possibly draw on every topic possible: personal finance, stocks, options, everything out there. You can also watch 3 other stock market courses if you don't like mine, and you get all of that for free for 2 months. So if you are interested, consider hitting that link in the subscription. And if you need anything else from me, I am here to support you. Now, in summary, there's 3 things that you're going to need in order to start day trading. Number 1 is a computer. Number 2 is a software. I recommend Questrade. And number 3 is a strategy. Check out the 5 YouTubers on there and check out my free course. And last but not least, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I put a lot of effort into this course, and it would sincerely help me out. I'm trying to grow this channel to give as much information as I possibly can. So if you need anything, send me an email, and the only thing I need from you is smash that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video.